of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, right? And today we're going to be reviewing chapter 3, which is titled, He Who Can Do This Has the World with Him. He who cannot walks a lonely way, right? We've been talking about the fundamentals of dealing with people, building relationships, having your way with people, how to get whatever you want from anybody, how to make people do whatever you want, right? And in the first chapter, we talked about criticism. We should not criticize people. They don't like that. Even you do not like it. You get defensive when you are criticized, right? There are better ways to do things. And then yesterday, we also learned about dealing with people, how to get whatever you want from anybody. And today, we are going to continue in that as well, dealing with people, right? And what does it take to deal with people, to be able to have your way with people, to get them to do whatever you want without arguments, without threatening them, without bribing them, right? To make your relationship with them smooth. It is finding out what people want. What do people want? Or that person you want to get something from, what does that person want? If you want to catch a fish, you want to catch a fish in the river, right? Do you go there with strawberries or carrots or apples? Just like the author, said he went fishing one time, and because he's fond of strawberries and cream, would it stretch that to the fishes? No, they wouldn't take it. The right thing to do would be to dangle a worm in the face of the fishes, and then they will come at it, and that way you are able to catch them, right? Because that was what he did. He didn't stretch strawberries, he did not stretch cream. When he dangled a worm, he was able to catch the fish that he wanted. So the author is saying, why don't you use the same sense when you are dealing with human beings? Why don't you give people what they want and then you get what you want in return? Right? It is not about you. It is not about your desire. If you find out what people want, yesterday we said the most important thing that we all want is the feeling of importance. Once you are able to feed that in people, it is a big craving that so many people have. They want to feel important, and what makes people feel important differs from person to person. But once you identify it, you give it to the person and then you get what you want. It doesn't take anything from you. When Lloyd George, Great Britain's prime minister during World War One, was asked how he managed to remain in power, unlike some other leaders like Wilson, Orlando, and Clement Q, he said that, if staying in power, his stay in power could be attributed to one thing, it would be to his having learned that it was necessary to bait the hook to suit the fish. That is, to give people what they want. You may think that is childish, you may think that is absurd, but the only way on earth to influence other people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. If you are selling something and you are sounding so salesy, right? Oh, buy from me, buy what I'm selling, buy what I'm selling. You may probably not sell so many of your products, right? But if you let people know what they benefit from your products, you are more likely to sell more, right? So people want to know how much you care. They want to know how what you have can benefit them. That is the only way that they will tend towards you. So enough of your selfish ambition, enough of, wanting everything to come to you. So you must remember that regardless of whether you're dealing with children or chimpanzee or adults or your boss or whoever, right? One secret that you must take note of is how to give people what they want. And there are so many examples in this book that the author uses to illustrate this. One of them, he said when he wanted to rent a hall for his lectures, right? He had already printed a ticket, advertisements had already gone out, publicity and everything. He was to book that hall for like 20 nights, different seasons. And then at the beginning of one particular season, the hall, it was a hotel which had a hall, so the hotel just increased the price of the hall like times 3. And he had already printed the ticket. What would he do? The amount he charged would probably not cover the costs. So he did not go to the manager to fight. He did not go there to argue. He simply went to the manager in a calm tone, and then he said, well, I understand what you have done. If I were in your shoes, I would do the same thing. You are not the owner of the hotel, you are the manager, and you are hired to make money. If you don't make money, you are going to be fired. But let us look at it this way. Let us write out the advantages of this hall, me using this hall, and the disadvantages, right? Or maybe the advantages of, no, not me, the advantages of this hall to you, the manager, and to the hotel. And he wrote one advantage to say, okay, probably some dance groups could come to use this hall, use it for ballet, and maybe pay maybe times 5 or times whatever of the amount that I am supposed to pay, right? That is one advantage to you. Now let us look at the disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages that he gave the manager was that, you see, I hold lectures here. I've been having lectures here. And the caliber of people that I bring here, they are high quality people. They are educated people. HNIs, high network individuals, right? Do you know what it takes to gather those people and bring them to this hall? When I bring them to this hall, it is free advertisement for you. If any of them has any event to do, they can come and use this hall. Apart from that, this is a hotel. It exposes your hotel to your potential customers. Do you know how much it will cost you if you want to put out an advertisement to reach this caliber of people? It will cost you a lot of money. He didn't say reduce the price for me. He didn't say, oh, I stand to get this. He did not fight. He simply said that. And then the parted ways. And then the next time he heard from the manager, instead of him paying the fees or the cost that had been increased by 300%, he was only asked to pay 50% extra. You see, that way, he was able to get what he wanted. But if he had gone in to fight the manager, to fight the manager, to say, oh, why would you do that? Blah, 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 and shout at him, do all of that, it would create a scene. The manager may want to rescind his decision to say, okay, we will look at it. But because he had been shouted at, he had been criticized, he had been embarrassed, his pride will get in the way, and he may not want to back down. His ego may get in the way. I mean, say, okay, no problem. That is the policy. If you don't want to use this place, no problem. And then that is it. Both of them would lose. Right. So most times if we think that we want to do things by force, it is actually not the best way. Let people have what they want. Even pretend like you don't have any interest. It's not even about pretense. It is something that we all have to learn. And we have been learning it, that life is not about you. Life does not revolve around you alone. Right. There is also an example here of a child who was told that he would go to kindergarten. His name is Tim. And then the boy was crying, throwing tantrum. Oh, I won't go to kindergarten. I won't go to kindergarten, and all of that. When his father came back, the normal thing was for him to be furious and say, you will go to kindergarten, whether you like it or not. Isn't that what we would normally do, naturally? But he thought about it and he didn't do that. And he just called his wife and the older brother and said to them, oh, let's do painting, let's do this, all the fun things that the boy is supposed to do at kindergarten. So they got into the kitchen, they started doing that, they were chatting, they were saying how fun it was to do all of those things. And now this boy started picking interest. He wanted to join them. And they said, no, you can't join us. You have to go to kindergarten for you to experience it. These are all the fun things that you do at kindergarten and all of that. This was a boy that was initially throwing tantrum. The next day he was supposed to go to kindergarten. Guess who woke up first? It was Tim who woke up first. He already went downstairs, ready to go to school. He woke up and he was snoozing away downstairs, waiting for everybody to wake up. When his father got there, I was like, what are you doing here? He said, I'm waiting to go to kindergarten. Won't you take me to kindergarten? And that was it. No threats, no force, nothing. Right. So we see many things that we lose, many things that will go wrong if we want to threaten people. And even when you're writing letters, if you have read this book, you will see two fantastic or three letters here. Examples of letters. The way letters are written wrongly, portraying that it is for your own selfish interest. I desire to have this. I would like to have this. Could you give me this? You know, all the letters and emails that we write. Meanwhile, there are better ways to write this to make the other person see that it is for them. It is in their own interest. They stand a lot to gain. There's also another example of a woman who wanted to relocate from one state to another in the United States of America. She was a banker, and then she wrote 12 different banks who she thought would be willing to employ her in the new state, right? And then she said, oh, I'm a banker with 10 years experience. I can do this for your bank. I can do this for your bank. I can help your bank to transform from this to that. She wrote a well-crafted letter after going through one of the courses that Dale Carnegie organized. And then 11 out of those 12 banks gave her an offer because they saw the potential in her. They saw the value that she was bringing to the table. If you do not have any value that you're bringing to the table and you want to forcefully have your way, it is a waste of time. You really have to learn to show people that you are interested in them and that you are not just there for your own selfish interests. Right, so scolding, spanking, shaming your children, embarrassing them is not the way. It is not. The man coming. It's not the way at all. Show them what they stand to gain, or show them what they are likely to lose if they continue in that bad behavior. Show them. There is no need to keep shaming them and embarrassing and using force all the time. That will lead to resentment, right? If you want to get your spouse to do what you want, make your spouse feel important. Right, let me just go to, yeah, we're almost at the end. There are so many examples here. I really wish that you would read this book. But the bottom line of all we're saying is that you can actually get whatever you want from anybody, no matter who they are. And one way to do that is not to criticize them, is not to forcefully get what you want. It is to show them that you are there to help them. You have something to offer them. Everything that you're going to be doing is in their own best interest, right? Remember, first arouse in the other person an eager want. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. There is also a story about, two sales guys who were working for an insurance company. When a new policy came out, one of them went to one of their previous clients and he said, oh, there is this new policy that just came out. It is very interesting. After work, I'll come back and explain it to you because it is new. That was one of the guys. The other guys went there, not to the company. He saw Dale and some other people and he said, hey, guys, I have an exciting news for you. There is this new policy that we just came up with. He said it with so much excitement. So much excitement. And guess what? They bought through him, not from the other guy that went there first. So if you are selling something, let people know that what you're selling is for their own good. They stand a lot to benefit. It is not about your own profit or whatever. Yeah. So principle 3 says, arousing the other person an eager want. Let them see that, if they don't subscribe to this, they are missing a lot. Fear of missing out. FOMO. FOMO. Right? And then you don't have to beg them. You don't have to chase after people. It is high time we stopped doing all of that. We stopped lobbying and all of that. Put value first. Let people know what they stand to gain. They'll be the ones that will be rushing after you. Right. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of chapter 3 of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again tomorrow as we review chapter 4. Until then, be intentional. Bye. You're welcome.